What's up, 2025? What's up, podcast world? This is my first podcast in 2025, and it is January 4th, 2025. I've been busy. I don't know about y'all, but this podcast I've been needing to talk about for a long time, and I do talk about it to my girls, especially around New Year's, right? New Year's, and everybody's got New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals, all the things. And here's the thing. You don't have to have a New Year's goal and a New Year's resolution. And one, those are both two different things. And maybe we'll talk about that in a little while. But the biggest thing, my girls, my clients, they don't all compete. And so we have to find reasons for them to stay the course, as in stay there with their macros, stay with their training, stay motivated, stay inspired, stay in all this course that they have chosen to go down to whole body health, to healthier person, healthier mind, healthier body. We have to find things to motivate them, which is what I did all the way up till 2020. So 2013, I started my journey all the way to 2020. I just had to find life. I had to be enough myself, and life had to be big enough for me to change, because I couldn't keep being the girl I was, right? So it wasn't up until 2020 that I need a bigger reason, and I had already achieved just like my physique goals that I at the time knew how to achieve metabolically, hormonally, all that, right? So all that to say, you can do that. You don't have to compete. You don't have to have these big goals to do what makes you feel good physically and mentally. Period. Okay? So when you're thinking about your New Year's goals, your 2025 goals, instead of thinking about what is a big goal, what is a goal that's going to force me to change my ways, I want you to, ask yourself, is the ways that I'm living, what's wrong with them? Ask yourself that. What's wrong with them? Because if you need that big of a event to change the way you're living, maybe we need to reevaluate how you're living, because you must not be living in alignment with yourself if you got to change that much, right? If you just going back to just my example of myself, going from in 2020, before I signed up with Dylan to do my first bikini competition in 2021, I didn't have to change much. And I still, to this day, going from prep to my building season, ain't a damn thing that's different. It's just, we coast all year long, and we just do the same exact things, maybe a little bit higher food, a little bit lower food, a little bit higher cardio, a little lower cardio, right? We just stay here. Because why? Because everything is in alignment. Everything that I'm doing every day of my life, 365 days a year, is in alignment to one goal. So if you have to have a big goal to make good decisions, so this is what I have my girls do, very upfront, whoever they are, whether they compete or not. Make a list of what makes you feel good, and make a list of what makes you feel not good. And literally, those are the only two things that you need to focus on. Those are the only things that you need to run off of one day at a time. If it makes you feel good, I'm going to do it every day. And if it doesn't make me feel good, then I'm never going to do it again. And look, at the beginning, you might do it again. But we're going to try to not do it again and again, right? All the things that make us not feel good. That when it comes down to this very simple, life is very simple, happiness is very simple concept, people overthink it, and that's where they go wrong, right? How can I be happy? Well, let's just make a happy list and a sad list. And then the other thing that I get them to do is, what is the desired outcome that you want? Not the goal. Don't tell me about the goal you want. Tell me about the desired outcome that you want. So I give this example. A goal is I want to turn pro. That's a goal. And then you turn pro, and then what? Then you back to square one. You got to figure out the next goal. But if your desired outcome is I want to be a pro, then that goes for the rest of your life, right? You're now a pro athlete. Now you have, sky's the limit. There ain't no cap, right? So what is the desired outcome? And so between those three things, your happy list, your sad list, and your desired outcome, you should have, those are the three things that are going to keep you doing on the course, on your course, on the course that you want. And inevitably, if you stay this course every day, one day at a time, you're going to achieve whatever goal you set out to achieve, right? And so as far as weight loss, and it's fun now that I've been coaching since 2013, 2014, I guess, if you wanted to say that, 100%, like, that's all that I'm doing since 2019. And so now I have clients that have been with me for 5 years, 4 years, 5 years. And so I'm able to see these evolutions of the women that they are, and it's amazing. So I have two specific girls that are very, very into their whole body health journey. And one of them, and we've gone from, just got to change her life because she cannot be the girl that she was. She was like, I'm tired of this girl. I got to change everything, right? That was years ago. And then we got into she had fat loss and weight loss and wanted to eat more and all that, metabolically, hormonally, we were doing all the things and did all of that. And so now again, a couple of years later, so for the last year and a half-ish, she saw me compete. So she's one of my best friends, obviously now, but saw me compete, and she came to our first show and she wanted to compete, or she thought she wanted to compete. And so that's been in her mind. We've been practicing posing, we got heels, we got suits, with all the things, and it's kept her accountable to herself, to me, obviously. And a couple of weeks ago, she had another pivot in life, and she said, I don't want to compete, not right now, it ain't time. Which, part of my coaching business is I've helped you figure out, one, that it's okay to pivot. It's all right to change your mind. You can do that. You can grow a woman. And it's all right that does not do anything to the woman you are. Is when you decide I'm not going to compete. Okay, cool. I'm going to pivot because it's the time of my life. This is not right for me. But here's the thing. This is where I'm very, very proud of her. Is she said, I'm going to still live that life. I'm going to still live like I'm competing. And so, one of my life mottos is, if I stay ready, then I never got to get ready. And so for her to say that, which is just that, I'm just going to live the life that I would be living if I were to be competing, but I'm just not going to compete. But maybe I will. But right now, that's not even in my energy, right? Not even in my brain space. Very, very proud of her for that, because that is the desired outcome. That's when your only focus is the desired outcome, and the only focus that you have every day is, I'm going to do what makes me feel good, and I'm not going to do what makes me not feel good. And then ultimately, I'm going to get to, inevitably, I'm going to get to my desired outcome, which is the aesthetic look that all women want, right? But there's not any other way to get to that goal, to get to that aesthetic look, but to do the work. So if you focus so much, again, use that pro example. You can either turn pro or you can become a pro. And they're going to be very different. So, and moving on to going to one of my other girls, who she's never competed before. And she's ready. She's ready mentally, which is amazing, because that's 99% of competitors that have been competing, whether they're pro or not, are not ready to compete mentally, but she's ready. And when we talk about shows, we're going to take one show at a time. We're going to even see if you like it. You might get up there, you might not even like it. You like the process, which is what I'm very proud of all of my girls, but definitely her as a competitor, or as a new competitor. She likes the process. And if you like the process of something, then the outcome, it don't matter what time. It don't matter how long it takes. It don't matter, because you're going to continue to do what you feel good, what makes you feel good, and what makes you not feel good. You're going to continue to do this until you can no longer do it, really. And so for her, a lot of things, you buy time, right? You buy time in a million different ways, but definitely one, with the coach, you buy time, right? What you can do alone in 2 years, you could probably do it in 6 months with somebody that has done it before. That's very simple. A very simple concept. But you buy time every day when, especially when you have done things or have lived in a way, whether it be habit ways or lifestyle ways, whatever it is, both of them, to when you have lived. So like for me, example, I think about it all the time because people ask me, even to this day, how long are you going to work out like this? How long are you going to try macros? How long are you going to do blah, 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 blah? What else would I do? Well, I'm going to tell you what else I would do because I know myself. I'd be back at the bars. I'd be back drinking. Like, you're going to fill your time every day with something, right? And that's, part of addiction and part of that. That's a big, if you can comprehend that you're going to do something with your time, money, and energy, you might as well do something that's going to give you that desired outcome that you want. Or you're just not going to get that outcome, right? Again, going back to the goal thing. Does that make sense? So if I didn't get up at 4 o'clock in the morning when I was at the Francis to work out and get my workout in, because I worked from 7 in the morning to 10 p.m. every night, that's kind of not even, I had to do that, right? But even just in general, and I know you're probably thinking, if I didn't go to the gym every day, and I guess the biggest, when I realized this whole time thing, is when I started to try to quit drinking alcohol. And so this was like 2010. I didn't stop drinking until 2013, 14, 2015 probably. 2013, I started my macros and all of this things. I had been working out for years and years and years before that, but I didn't stop cold turkey drinking till 2013. Or sorry, 2014, maybe 2015. But before that, when I started trying in 2010, I would go every single night to the gym right after, when I got off work. I'd go up in the middle of the night, it'd be midnight. I'd work out from 11 p.m. to 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. just so that I didn't go to the bar. So that has to help you comprehend how easy it is to switch a habit, right? That's all you're doing is switching little things around so that you can't, because I can't be in 2 places at one time, right? So if I take the time that I used to go to the bar and I insert working out, or just in some cases, because I knew how to work out, but I did a lot of cardio at that time. But still, it served the outcome that I wanted, which was to not be a drunk, to not look the way that I looked. And ultimately, I didn't know even how to look the way that I look today, but I knew what did not help me look that way than what I was doing. Because if what I was doing was going to help me look that way, then I look that way. So again, going back to just the desired outcome is what you focus on. So I'm trying to run off these notes so I don't get to rambling. So I guess the biggest takeaway is, being that it's the new year, is to just make your list. Feel good list, feel not good list, and your outcome list. What do you want? What do you want your outcome to be? Whether that's, and it could be a combination. It could be, I want to not think negatively about myself. I don't want to not have a gut. I want to lose 25 pounds. These are all, so you could probably think of them as goals, right? But just don't forget the example of, once you lose 25 pounds, if it's a goal, then you have come and gone. Goals come and go. The outcomes come and they stay. And so if your outcome is just, I want to look better, I want to feel better, I want to think better, I want to be better, I want to be a better wife, I want to be a better mom, I want to have more energy, I want to not have to take so much medication, I want to not be in pain as much as I am, or whatever the outcome is, right? Make that clear. And then you're going to make these lists. Make me feel good, make me feel not good. And that feel good list should have everything on it that is going to help you reach this outcome. And the things on the not feel good list, if you do that, you're not going to reach the outcome. It's really that simple. And so then every day you wake up and you just do what's on the feel good list, and you don't do what's on the not feel good list. and you just do it one day. And then at the end of the day, you look and you feel good and you've done it, and what worked today, all right, let me do it again tomorrow. And then you do it again tomorrow, and then you do it again the next day. And then you literally take it one day at a time. And you're gonna look back and it's gonna be 10 years from now. And you're not only gonna have reached the outcome, the aesthetics, the goals, you're gonna have reached everything that you could even dream of, goals that you don't even know of right now. If you just stay focused on those three things. How you wanna feel, the outcome you wanna feel, the outcome you wanna look like, whatever that outcome is, what makes you feel good and what makes you not feel good, and then you just do it one day at a time. You don't do it, you don't plan the whole week. This is another thing, definitely early on when you start tracking macros, just plan one day. Plan one day, that's it. And then if you do good today, I want you to just copy and paste it to the next day. And then you're gonna do it again. And then you're gonna copy and paste it to the next day and you're gonna do it again. And then 7 agains from now, you might be able to do 2 days, right? And that's great, that means you're learning. And if you can't do 2 days, then let's just keep going one day at a time. Literally, I think back, and I say this all the time, definitely to my clients, I don't know what I'm doing in any part of my journey as far as business, definitely. Business, I just launched this new membership, and I'm really excited for this membership because my goal with the membership, if you did not go, I'm going to link it below here, my God, Goals, Gains, and Growth membership. It's going to be it's a free membership, and then I'm going to have a $40 a month membership that you can just learn everything about nutrition, training, competing, lifestyle, dining out, travel, all the things that I've learned over the last 10 years is going to be in this membership. And if you think that I know what I'm doing, you should be a fly on my wall, because I don't know anything that I'm doing. I'm just trial and error the whole time. And yeah, I've hired business coaches before. They have not done anything for me. And so I keep having to remind myself that, because everything that I personally do, and this is something, again, that you got to learn yourself, right? That's all, a whole part of life is you learn yourself so that you can work with yourself. I could sit here and waste money on a business coach, but there's not a business in this world that I look at and I'm like, I want that business, not one. So therefore, and so I kind of laughing at myself last night, I bought my 3rd Google to-do list sheet, just trying to get my life organized. I feel like I'm not organized at all. Actually, I'm not organized at all, but that's okay. We're going to do it one day at a time. And after I thought that this was going to be the last one, this 3rd one, and I looked at it, I pulled it up, I looked at it, and I'm just looking at it. I got no idea what the hell. I thought I knew, but I didn't. And I just finally told myself, and I put this in my notes, you will just create the sheet that is in your head, because now we have wasted $50 on nothing. And you have only confused yourself even more. So I'm gonna just figure out the way that what I'm trying to do one day at a time. And my outcome for this membership is to be able to change the lives of every single woman in this world, no matter how much money they have, how much money they don't have, where they are on their journey, who they know, what they do. This is just, you could come at free. You could come for $40. You could come do my 12-week challenges. You can come do my 101. It's all gonna be right here. And ultimately, I'm gonna have a mentorship within this as well, a year mentorship. So just to be able to help along the way, and again, change as many lives as I can. So I guess the other takeaway of this podcast would be, know that it's okay to not know what you're doing, not know where you're going. All I know is that I have the right people helping me. I have my coaches, because ultimately, as a coach, I don't have time to research myself and research the things that I'm doing with my girls, right? And to create more for more girls, and be a wife, and have a life, and see my family. Like, I don't have time to do all that. So where am I going to eliminate? I'm going to eliminate time, but I can't eliminate my goals. I can't eliminate my outcomes that I want to be. So I'm going to pay these people, that my coaches been with them for 5 years, And I'm just gonna listen to them every single day, and I'm gonna reach every goal aesthetically metabolically, hormonally, every goal that I have that I don't even think about. I don't even think about my goals, to be honest with you. To be honest, I hadn't thought about my goals since probably 2020 when I first hired Dylan and Chris. I said I want to be a pro. I want to be a pro. I don't care when it happens. It can happen in 10 years. It can happen this year. I don't care. But I'm going to work until I get it. And I really, to be honest with you, haven't thought about it since. Like, as in, thought about it much more than a little bit, you know? Yeah. So now that I think about it, I really haven't. And even with this, I just made a podcast or just posted a podcast about the Fit Mind on a Vision. That, again, and I've talked about this a million times on here, that was just God laid right out for me. That wasn't even a decision I needed to make, so I didn't have to make it. It was just made for me. And so again, when everything changes, when you change your lifestyle and your life, and everything then becomes aligned to one goal, life becomes easy. And it's, I say that, it's not easy as in I gotta have no effort. I don't put in no effort. That would be a lie, and that would be silly if you thought that was what I meant. But life, as far as decisions, like I'm not pressured. I don't have no resistance with myself. I don't have the people in my life don't pressure me to do stuff I don't want to do. They're the right people, right? And I make sure, I stay very in check with myself and make sure that the new people in my life, they align with me. And there's, I have a lot of boundaries as far as like what that looks like and how long I'm willing to kind of test the waters with new people, but they have to fit my desired outcome, which for me is to be in a place that I can help change women physically, mentally, in every way, right? And if they don't align with that, then they gotta go. And if that's a year after I meet them or 3 years after I meet them, that's fine. As long as I stay aware of myself and make sure that I am constantly and never crossing my boundaries, right? So again, another really important part of this journey up front is self-awareness. And when I say that, it's like so cliche to say because people don't even know what that means, but in the G4 community, my free community, I have a worksheet that I'm actually about to update. It's called Woman I Want to Be worksheet. And it helps you clearly define the woman that you want to be so you can just literally make those two lists based on that. That's the desired outcome is right there. And when you write it down and you write, the woman I want to be looks like she's got her shit together every single day, even though she doesn't. Right? I don't leave this house. Now that I'm not traveling as much, I don't leave this house, but damn sure I got makeup on every day. Not my full face, but I got eye makeup on. I do my hair every day. Again, if you see this video, it's a hot mess, but it's still cute, right? My husband's about to come home. I want him to look at me and be like, damn, she ain't leaving this house and she looks damn good. So again, what is that you want to be? Who do you want to look like? What does she wear? She wears earrings every day. She doesn't cuss. That was a big one up front. When I did this worksheet 7-8 years ago, I wanted to be a woman that didn't cuss. And believe me, I cuss. I probably done cuss twice at least on this podcast. This podcast itself. But you should have heard me back in the day. I sounded retarded. My mom told me one time, this is probably like one of the last things that I had to hear before I was like, you got to clean up your mouth. But she said, people cuss when they do not have, or they're not intelligent enough to use other words. And I was like, all right, well, I don't want nobody to think I'm not intelligent because I'm not that smart. I didn't go to college. I did go to college. I flunked out about I think 4 or 5 times. So I'm not intelligent, but I definitely don't want nobody thinking that I'm not, right? So let me change that. And again, I slip up all the time. Don't think that I don't. I do. But the goal is to not. And I have hit that goal a lot more than I have not. Definitely the last 5 years, 6 years. So yeah. Okay. So one day at a time. happy list, not happy list, or what makes me feel good, what makes me not feel good, and the desired outcome. So those 4 things, I hope that is his biggest takeaway for this podcast. And you just take 2025 one day at a time, and you do the best that you can every day. And you got to be honest with yourself with that. See, I'm going to start rambling again, so I'm not going to do it. But you got to be honest with yourself with that. Did you do the best that you can? Like, did you honestly do the best that you can? And nobody's hating on you. Nobody's judging you. Nobody's even going to hear what you got to say. Nobody's even going to hear how you think except you, right? Did you really do the best that you could? And if you did, then just do it again tomorrow. And if you did not, then make these small adjustments. And that might just look like get up 5 minutes earlier. That might look like do not talk to her. That might look like get off of Instagram, get off of social media. That's another big reason that I started this G4 membership, is because I wanted my clients to get off of social media. Because every time they would get on social media, they started comparing themselves to all these girls that they don't even need to be comparing themselves to, because those girls are no better than you. And they just pretending to be. And so that would get in their head. So this platform, the only person that's going to be in their head is me. And all the women and all the inspiration that is in our community, that's all that you need. You don't need Instagram. You don't need that. Dang sure don't need any social media. Not when you have the right people in the right place, right? So if you have not joined my free membership, I'm going to link it below here. I'm going to probably link it on all the platforms that I have. I'd love to have you. It's going to be a great year. Just a lot of knowledge, a lot of learning on my end too. Just transform whole body health, right? So, okay. GracieRecord_fit on Instagram. Message if you like this podcast, if you took away what I wanted you to take away. If you did not take away what I wanted you to take away, let me know that too, so I can make it more clear. And yeah, y'all have a great 2025. Hopefully I'll be back on podcasting in a couple days. But y'all have a great week.